Bonjour, aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de la Renaissance.
Wait, actually, where's your bathroom?
Oh, it's right up there.
Okay.
Hey. Hey.
So what did you do over the weekend?
I went to the Renaissance Fair.
Hey Maru.
Hey guys, so what's up?
So Rihanna was just telling me about how she went to the Renaissance Fair this weekend. Do you know what the Renaissance is?
No, what is that? Well, the Renaissance began in Florence, Italy in the 14th century and it ended in the 16th century. Actually, I saw an article about it. Let me go get it.
Okay.
Okay.
One eternity later.
Here it says that the Renaissance began in northern Italy and spread over to the next century into Europe. It was also the age of artistic, social, scientific, and political thought when it turned in a new direction. The start of the Renaissance was also known as the end of the Middle Ages.
It also says that Italy was divided into city-states. Florence was a republic city-state, and it became wealthy in the 1300s. When the Medici family came into power in Florence, they used personal funds to further the humanist movement.
What's humanism?
Maybe it's on the next page.
Let me check. Yep, here it is. It says that it was a feature of the revival of classic art. The promoters were known as humanists because of their interest in the study of the classics, or the more human letters, in opposition to theology, which made up the old education.
Hey, this stuff's interesting.
Yeah,
Let's do our research upstairs.
let's go. Let's talk about the Renaissance. The Renaissance began in Florence, Italy around the 14th century and ended around the 16th century. Because there are many things that went on during the Renaissance, we are going to go through them one by one. We'll start with art. Giotto de Bondone, who is known to be the father of the Renaissance, was the man who started it all. He was born in 1266 in Vespignano, Italy. He was one of the men who believed that art should have human characteristics. He studied perspective and began painting true human beauty. He developed a unique style of placing his subjects in a certain way to give them purpose within the painting. You may know the next man because of his painting that is still famous to this day. Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452 in Vinci, Florence. In his younger years, he worked as an artist but left the practice to begin his own practice. He soon after painted the famous Mona Lisa, but this wasn't all he was known for. At the time, he was considered a real Renaissance man. He had many other talents aside from painting. Leonardo was an artist, scientist, and inventor all at the same time. No wonder they called him a Renaissance man. For the last artist, we will be talking about Michelangelo. Michelangelo was born on March 6, 1475. He was an artist, sculptor, and architect. He was a very talented man, and he earned money from some of the richest men in his time. He moved away from Florence to do this, but when he returned, he built a marble stone figure of a man which is still displayed in Florence. Along with this, he was asked to do many jobs with the chapel. He painted the 12 apostles in the Sistine Church for 5 years. These 3 men were some of the most inspiring men to commence the Renaissance art movement. They displayed beauty in the simplest things and had a great effect on art. Humanism. Humanism was the revival of classics which stated the ability of people to determine the true and false things in life for themselves. Humanism had basic principles. Man is responsible for his actions and God does not control a man's will. In order to understand humanism, you have to know how it all began. Francesco Petrarca. He was born in Arezzo, Italy on July 20th, 1304. Francesco Petrarca is known to be the father of humanism. In his time, he was one of the greatest influential writers. His main focus was to revive the original writings that so many people had managed to forget. As he learned more about it, he began to rebel against the limitations of his own time. He believed people could once again accomplish what they had before. Galileo Galilei. Galileo was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy. He played a major role in the scientific revolution. He discovered the Galilean moons of Jupiter. Galileo also believed in dialogue concerning the chief world system. Because they attacked the Pope, Galileo was tried and forced to recant. He stayed for almost a decade under house arrest while he wrote 2 new sciences. This was one of his best writings. William Harvey. William Harvey was born in 1578. He is recognized for discovering the circulatory system. At the time, there was a lot of criticism of his work. His work was the first accurate description of the human heart and circulatory system. To this day, his work remains in textbooks and is the foundation of modern physiology.